is not my fault.
Oh my God.
We have a brand new game.
I was trying to contain myself. Oh my.
Go option one, not safe. These are insane.
And Brandon keep killing it.
Oh, I know people are already feeling some type of way just by that title and thumbnail, but what's good, Creative Fam? Brandon Washington here, and yeah, we got a show for you today. I'm sure y'all already saw the news. You obviously saw the title and the thumbnail of this video, so as a avid RED shooter, we have a lot to talk about, but I'm not here by myself. As you guys know, I have my amazing co-host, and he is currently going through it right now.
What's good, Creative Fam? Man, gosh, I'm still feeling, I don't know if it's PTSD. I don't know if it's shockwaves. I don't know, man.
Dude,
I'm confused. I'm confused.
I'm a little, it's definitely been a wild week. It has been a wild week. Nikon, RED, I don't know who you really give the credit to on this one, but they definitely dropped a boulder in the water, and we are seeing massive waves.
It feels like we're about to head into like a little war.
Uh-oh.
Like a war that I'm not sure everybody was ready or prepared. But now everybody, gloves come off. Now it's time to fight.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty insane right now because like when I think about just like how we always talk about like, okay, what camera is gonna make the big change? Like, can DJI step in and change the game by releasing a camera, or can Nikon release something new, or can Sony release something new? But dude,
You forgetting somebody?
Oh, we're good.
Canon.
No, but like when I legitimately think about these people, I'm like, okay, who's gonna release the thing that like changes our mindset? The last thing I thought about was somebody dropping their own price tag and letting that change the industry.
Not even dropping a new camera.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Just dropping the price, which I gotta be honest, I know we're gonna talk about it, but man, it changes value. It changes like what you thought was even possible.
Dude, it's wildly thrown off my entire concept of like value, money, what gear should cost. Cause like it changes the whole landscape. So we're not here alone. Just so you guys know, this week we are really live.
We're live.
We're looking at you guys right now in the chat. Last week I know some of y'all were kind of confused. If you showed up late, you were definitely confused. Last week we were not actually live. We pre-recorded an episode because we wanted to make sure that y'all got one because we love doing this every single Friday, and we were even in the chat checking it out. But last week I was actually at Sony Condo.
Yes.
And great experience, as always. Sony brings out a bunch of creators. We have a good time. We get a chance to test out some Sony gear. I hadn't actually had my hands on a Sony camera in a minute.
Yes.
And ironically, before all this RED stuff happened, I actually got a chance to shoot with the FX6 for the first time, actually. It was my first time ever shooting with the FX6. I shot with the FX9, done a couple projects, but it wasn't my cameras. Shot on the FX6, and I got to be honest, man. I kind of started catching feelings. Started catching feelings. But you know what happened?
I can only guess. Like, this isn't always what happens in the camera industry.
Yeah.
But I feel like something new is happening every week.
This is wild, right?
So don't catch feelings for too long.
Dude, that's literally, I felt like, you guys know, like when you watch your favorite TV show and like a character comes in and you're like, oh my gosh, I love this character. Like they start building up the character and you start getting attached to that character, and then immediately like something comes along and just like kills that character off. Or like that's literally what happened to me this week. Like I was like starting to catch feelings about the FX6 at Condo. I came back. I was like, I need to rent the FX6 again. So I like rented it, went and shot a triathlon with it. And then like a couple days later, Red was like, get rid of those feelings.
You love me.
Yeah. I'm the only one for you. That's exactly how I felt.
Oh,
but yo, let's hit up the comments for a minute, because I know you guys are definitely feeling some way. So let's hop into the comments real quick. Shout out to DM Colorist. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Dude, I love spending Fridays here. I love being live so we can pull up so we can actually hang out on Fridays. Let's go. That's right. We're ready to do this show. Mr. Camera Junkie hopping into both chats. I'm going to put up both of them right there. He says, hey, everyone. He's coming in from both sides. He's on the uncensored side of the channel, and he's on the Brandon Washington channel. So shout out to you, brother. Mr. Vision says here, he says, don't mind me, just waiting for my R6 Hawk 2.
You're going to love that camera.
That's going to be a fantastic camera for you.
I love it.
Brandon hopping in here. He says, happy Friday, my people. Ready for another fire episode. I'm literally running as we speak, so won't be able to chat as much. Oh, look at you getting your fitness in.
Yes.
That's good. Fitness first. I'm definitely down with that. Carlos is in here. What it do, brother? Oprah gonna be giving out RED soon. Hey, we'll see.
Hey, Oprah. Let me be number one.
Dude, I'll take another one. If somebody giving them out, I'm taking them. Mr. Camera Junkie in here, it says Red Icon is bringing the heat right now.
This is true.
You know what's crazy? Still haven't released a camera though.
Yeah.
they're just shaking up the industry and haven't had to release squat. Carlos says, Jarrell, what you gonna do, bro? Is cheaper than the I think that's supposed to be C400.
Carlos, I have watched so much RED Komodo X content. Bro, I've watched like 3 or 4 of your videos this week. Like, seriously, I am conflicted. We will get into it. But, I don't know,
Let's
bro.
keep it going.
I don't know, bro.
Christian says, I went from deciding to keep my FX3 to selling it to buy the KX after the price drop. Dude, I legitimately think people, like this price drop screwed a lot of people's mindsets.
Oh, 100%. Because you literally talked about a couple weeks ago that if Nikon brings in R3D, like it's going to make impacts in the industry, like waves.
Yeah.
Bro, that $3,000 price drop.
Bro.
Earthquakes. Earthquakes. Like, I don't even know what to think now.
Yeah, dude, it is insane. Real quick, got Ruben tuning in from France.
France.
Carlos says, I think the price drop makes the Raptor X more valuable. I think that's an interesting topic. We should come back to that one. I like that. I like that point. You all right over there?
Gosh, yes. Woo.
FX6 versus is spreading.
No, the virus is spreading.
FX6 virus is spreading. Dude, no, I just got a quick shot of a $3,000 vaccine and I'm good. What are you talking about? But yo, super excited. This is not funny. I don't like this comment. I'm going to put it up because I'm a fair, equal opportunist, but I don't like this comment. We're going to keep it moving. Hey, Jarrell is willing to, I think for the first time.
Hey, it's a heavy consideration.
I think somebody else is making a play for Jarrell's heart.
That C400 needs to come out way quicker than what did they say?
I'm just saying.
November?
The red's already here, bro.
Dude.
You can get it right now.
We need that C400 to drop now.
Kofi in the building. He says, selling my KX before the price drop. Y'all Red fans owe me an apology.
He had a crystal ball.
Hey, y'all say I be knowing stuff? Kofi obviously be knowing stuff.
Seriously, he got that Sony.
He had that Sony truck back up. Let's see. Who else we got in here? Let's run through these. You want to read some off?
Yes. I think the real question is, what does this mean for internal RAW recording for Nikon and maybe other cameras? Will Nikon be as stingy as RED was with their internal RAW patent?
Hey,
there's so much money in that.
I was gonna say they bought it for a reason, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's money. There's like at the end of the day, like we obviously want to use their tools, to create art, but they're selling their tools for a profit.
Yes,
so these are definitely for-profit businesses.
I think it also helps that you didn't create it.
Yeah.
So if you bought someone else's patent, I feel like at least to me, it would be easier to sell someone else's or license it.
You may not be quite as, emotionally attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So maybe. We'll see. We will definitely see what's coming up. I'm going to try to hit these up pretty quick, so I'm going to run through these. Tyler says, not selling my KX, so I'm not mad about it. Now, if another... what does it say?
If he needs another,
if I need another, I'll get one cheaper.
That's so positive, bro.
That is the only positive KX owner I think I've ever seen so far. Like existing KX owners do not seem to be as positive, and they definitely don't seem as positive I've been. Like,
but to be fair, that's what you would do.
That is what I would do.
Yeah.
That's how. Actually, I'm actually been eyeballing the OG Komodo again. So
geez, that second comment though.
What did he say? Oh, he says also. Which one?
Down one more.
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
Also used OG prices. Yeah. Yeah. We got a lot to talk about.
That cheap.
As y'all can see, Charles pointed out, Jarrell is wearing a red shirt today. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Look, y'all know I wear my flannel every week, but Jarrell came in here rocking the red. It's
ready to buy.
It's a red CFA.
Ready to
I
buy.
mean, that's our CFA flannel,
yes.
to be fair.
Yes.
But
before it is red.
But he knew what he was doing today. So I was like, all right, I'll keep mine off today. I don't want us to look like we completely sold out. But yo, super, super excited about all this crazy news. Let's go ahead and hop into it. So for those of you guys who are like just tuning in, trying to figure out what the heck is going on, what is the exact news that's been told. So as of Tuesday, RED officially, let me get this off the thing real quick. Pop that on, pop that off. So as of Tuesday, RED officially announced that there would be a price drop for the RED Komodo X and the OG Komodo. Now, to what a lot of people didn't realize, because it wasn't in most of the actual banners and any of the graphics, was that this price drop was pretty extensive. RED actually announced that the OG Komodo would be going from selling at $6,000 down to $5,000, and that the Komodo X, which was selling for $10,000, would now be selling for just $7,000. That is a $3,000 price difference on the Komodo X and a $1,000 price difference on the OG Komodo. And this sent shockwaves because for a lot of people, let's be real. When we look at buying a RED camera, we know that the price tag that we see is not the price tag you're going to pay. There's always an additional cost, whether you have to buy batteries, memory, monitors. Like, there's a lot of accessories that go into it. So when people saw $10,000 on the OG Komodo, they were like, ooh, that's $10,000 starting, but I'm going to have to spend more than that. But to then see that the price went down to $3,000 sent shockwaves. And I think the thing that really just jacked with people's heads is that this is not a sale. Now, the Komodo and the Komodo X has gone on sale before. They did put it on sale a few months ago as part of a program for a back to film set. So this was after all the strikes were over and all that was done and Hollywood was getting back up and running. RED had a sale on some of their products, but this is not a sale. This is not temporary. This is the new price. You know how some people say yesterday's price is not today's price? Well, a lot of people are wishing that today's price was yesterday's price because this is where we're sitting now that, you can now get a Komodo X for body only, $7,000. And we also saw the price of all the packages come down now to actually reflect this as well. So We're talking about the V-Log package. We're talking about the starter package on both the Komodo and the Komodo X. And I got news of this, just for full clarity, I got news about this Tuesday morning, okay? I'm being very clear. I found out Tuesday morning, and then I was like, they were like, hey, if you want to make a video about this, here's the new price, just so you know. I was like, cool. I started working on the video almost immediately, and before I was even done with the video, it was public knowledge. So I was like, oh, this is like happening now. I wasn't ready. I was not ready, but I did get my video out on time, and it's clear from the response of my video on my main Brandon Washington YouTube channel that people had opinions.
Oh, yeah. Well, the first thing that I did, Brandon?
What'd you do?
The moment you texted me, where I went straight to B&H and started creating packages.
Yeah.
So what you kind of said is like, obviously, the price of the camera, it's just the brain.
Yeah.
It needs more. And so I'm literally trying to find, not the cheapest chat, because it's not about necessarily finding the cheapest things.
Yeah.
But like, what would you need to make this camera functional and ready to kind of slot into the type of stuff that I do? Interviews, real estate, some small businesses, gyms, stuff like that. So I will tell you, I got the price to about $12,000.
Wow, really?
$12,000.
Okay.
With the KX. So 3 batteries, two terabyte cards, port keys monitor, cage from Condor, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So $12,000. And so I didn't obviously go for the cheapest of cheapest things, but also didn't go for like the deal. And I gotta be honest with you, that $3,000 price point, bringing it down, man, gosh, it makes it from going from what it was to what it is now, it really puts into contention for me on the C400.
You know what's crazy? So when the C400 first got announced, I was not like, I even said it here on the podcast, I don't think those cameras really even compete, right? But I do understand that, like, when you are thinking about buying a camera, you probably put a budget in your mind. You're like, okay, I'm about to spend about $8,000 to $10,000. What else could that money get me?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so then you start, like, looking at other cameras, other ecosystems. What would it cost to buy into that ecosystem and all those things? And it was very interesting to me because I never was like, oh yeah, these cameras are even worth like looking at side by side. But at a $3,000 price difference, like you said, like you sent me over your price tag and you're like, yeah, Brandon, it's still coming out like, almost $12,000. I was like, yeah, but that could be $15,000.
So here's the deal. I got to be honest with you because I'm not sold. I have not purchased anything. Gosh, we have to make some money moves to be able to make that happen. But I will say, what I feel like I'm losing is I'm losing autofocus. Now, we've had discussions about this.
Wait, let me see where you're at right now.
We've had some discussions about this. I feel like I might be losing a little autofocus, and I feel like a little autofocus. To be fair, the KX does have autofocus. And I wonder, and this is because I don't know enough about the exposure of the KX. I've heard it is not a low light monster. So I do feel like I might be losing.
Whoa. Komodo or Komodo X?
Komodo X is not a low light monster. Like I'm hearing, and I'm not saying that it's true.
Okay.
Because you're the person I would ask. But that triple base ISO from the C400, like, am I going to be better off in low light situations with it being full frame and the triple base ISO than I would be with the Komodo? So those are the two things. Obviously, there's way more benefits that I would gain from the KX, but those are the two things that I wonder about. And the tough part is with the C400 being on who knows when it's coming out, it's allowing RED to take up a lot of my mental real estate.
Well, and also you can order your KX right now and have it shipped in 2 days through B&H. So that is a tough one. But so here's the thing. I will say that like the Komodo X performs phenomenally in low light.
Wow.
And let me tell you why.
Wow.
So
get your checkbooks out.
If this is your concern, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a soapbox here for you. So here's the deal about the Komodo X. I took full screen drill. The Komodo X is phenomenal in low light, but not for the same reasons that a Sony or a triple base ISO Canon C400 would be. Because here's the thing about lighting and low lighting that I actually, like, I think I want to do a whole video on this, or I might just clip this and we'll let this be it. But this is how low light works. So when it comes to low light, a lot of cameras are really good at having a lot of gain, which is ISO, right? They throw that into the camera, that boosts everything up, and then they have this really good like denoising that happens that makes the image look clean. But here's the problem with when you do that. If you actually don't have light on your subject, a human, right? You don't have any color information. The sensor's not getting any information because your skin is actually translucent, and then when light hits it, that sends that information back into the camera, and so the camera can register that as color and information. So even if you're shooting on a Sony and you're shooting at 12-800 and you have really great low light performance, but you have no light on your skin, on the actual person,
that's why people look weird.
this is why you get that muddy, nasty look, even though you're like, oh, but my Sony is like amazing in low light. But it's like, but people look like crap. Yeah, because you don't have a lot of color information and you're not giving it to your sensor because you didn't put any light on the person. However, because you're working with a RED, if you have those same cameras in the exact same scenarios, this is at least what I have found, is that when you shoot a person in that low light situation in RAW with the 16 bits, right? And you have all that dynamic range, you have more color information in the skin, even in the low light scenario. So where, yes, the Sony might look cleaner, the RED is actually going to give you better color information out of the skin because it can already capture more information. And then because it's raw, there's no denoising happening because it's just raw sensor information. So then you just throw that into DaVinci or Premiere or whatever you use, denoise it a little bit, and then you're good to go. So for me, where you're not going to get the same level of low light performance, like, yes, you're going to get more gain and more boost out of a Sony, you're going to get better skin colors out of a RED. And that's why I personally look at the Komodo X and I go, yeah, this camera does a phenomenal job in low light, but specifically when it comes to skin, because that's normally the thing that matters the most.
I think Carlos agrees with you. I saw that he said it performs well in low light. Thank you, Carlos.
Yeah.
And thank you, Brandon.
So that's just sort of to explain it a little bit for you guys. But I totally understand this whole dynamic because, like, here's the deal when it comes to the Komodo right now, right? It's the Komodo X specifically. It's currently selling for $7,000. I personally think you could probably get a package, like a reasonable package, because like you were looking at 2 terabyte cards. Honestly, I think you just need like 2 1 terabyte cards. Yeah. And you'll be fine. Go with the Portkeys monitor or go with like a Shinobi SDI monitor. That'll be fine. So that can save you a little bit of money there.
How much do you like camera control? Through the monitor. Or I guess if it doesn't matter, do you just do...
I just use the actual... I mean, on the Komodo X, you have the top screen. So I would use, if I need to make any adjustments, I can use the top screen as needed.
Yeah.
But the thing about shooting on the RED for me is that normally I spend most of my time at the beginning setting it up. So I can either use the top screen, or if you're like, hey, I hate using the top screen, that's fine. Use your phone. Use an iPad if you want a bigger screen. Use a device you already have, right? Because you have all these other options.
Yeah.
But then once you start running around with the Komodo, you're good to just use, I like to say, get the outrigger handle or some type of handle that has the record button, and then you can run around and shoot on it. So I think you can build out a reasonable package now for the Komodo X all in for around $10,000. And so now that you're $10,000 in, you start having to compare it against $8,000 C400s and $6,000 FX6s that really need a version 2. And you start having to really look at these price points. And so with all these other cameras in the industry, the one thing that none of them can do is give you a RED image. And I think that's where a lot of people are kind of getting stuck. That's my opinion. You guys let me know in the chat. But like, I feel like that's where a lot of people are getting stuck. It's like, well, wait a minute. Now I can get very close to a Raptor image. Because I will say the Komodo X is fairly close to a Raptor image. Now, granted, Super 35 versus full frame, 8K versus 6K, and the color science is, I mean, I can't tell the difference. So like, it's very close. But dude, you can get that for $7,000 out of the box, and then add a couple accessories, and then maybe build up over time as you go. It's hard to not look at that when you see everything else that's on the market and no one is giving you the same image quality. Because, like, I'll be honest, shooting with the FX6, when I was, like, kind of, like, catching feels for it, it had nothing to do with the image. It was just the simplicity of the ergonomics of the camera.
Well, you know what's crazy about the potential Canon to RED switch? Bro, that RF mount.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon, I tell you the literal truth. If the KX doesn't have an RF mount on it, I am not looking at it. The fact that it has the RF mount on it, oh my gosh, I've got 6 lenses, 7 lenses. Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Well, and the other thing, and so just for good Gremlin Media, I think that's what that says. No, this is not a pre-recorded episode. We live, baby.
Live.
But the thing about the RF mount specifically is that, like, there's already a ton of accessories to work with it. Like, there are drop-in filters. There are RF to PL adapters that have drop-in filters. There are speed boosters. Like, there's so much that you can do right now with a OG Komodo or an existing Komodo. It's a hard deal, but I'm going to be honest with you. I think that a lot of people right now who are really contemplating the Komodo X, and they're kind of sitting on the fence, and they're like, maybe not. I don't know. 7,000 is a pretty good deal. Where I think they really should be looking is the used market of the OG Komodo. I got it on good authority because I literally got the text message minutes after the announcement. Friend of mine right here, he bought himself a OG Komodo, and I want to make sure I don't get this wrong because this is nuts. But he got himself an OG Komodo with a small HD Focus Pro OLED monitor, a battery, outrigger handle, and I can only assume this is like a small rig cage. Yeah, it's a small rig cage on here. $3,800, bro. $3,800.
That's a Z8.
Bro, that's a Z8.
That's a Z8.
And like, don't get me
with no extras.
Yeah, that was all in. So here's the thing. As much as, like, I do love this upgrade, because I mean, for me, I just think everybody should have access to the best cameras possible, right? And, like, part of the reason why I make the content that I make on my main channel, and, like, why I talk about business, why we even made the Creative Fam Academy, was because my goal was to help as many filmmakers make the money they need to make so that they could buy their dream camera, or so that they could make a living doing what they actually love to do, right? Which is make videos. And if camera brands are going to make it easier for you to get that camera by dropping the price, I'm here for it, right? if you can produce better work because the gear is more affordable, and that means you can go out there and do more work with that gear, make better art, then that's a win across the board. But let's be 100% honest here. The used market on the Komodos just went through it. Like, where there are pros, there are always going to be some cons, right? And so anybody who has had a Komodo or a Komodo X sitting up for sale, sounds like Kofi got off of his just in time.
Just in time.
But like for those people who have been like sitting on some of these used gear and thinking about selling it, I mean,
keep it.
At this point, you might need to. I mean, because the price did drop quite a bit. I mean, $3,800. I mean, he stole that camera.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, he stole that camera at $3,800. But like that's where we're currently sitting. So if you are somebody who's thinking about the Komodo X and you're still kind of like, I don't know, I'll tell you, the OG Komodo, especially if you have the accessories and you find yourself a really good used package, it's still a beautiful image. Now, it needs light. I'll be honest with you. It needs a little bit more light. Everything I talked about before still remains true, but that sensor is just not the same sensor as the Komodo X. And the way the color processing is on that one is a little bit different. But if you're just shooting with the OG Komodo, like you're not trying to make that match up against like a Raptor or a Komodo X, dude, it is a beautiful images. My good friend Joey Helms, he's made a bunch of videos on the OG Komodo. He's actually the one that inspired me to actually pick up the OG Komodo. And like, he has videos on his channel right now shot on the OG Komodo that I think outpace most people's videos that are being posted, even on Komodo X's.
Yeah.
Because he knew how to expose it. He knew how to use it. And there's a lot of other things like lighting and stuff that's involved in that.
Didn't a lot of people, to be fair, when Komodo dropped, just ran out and bought it? Just bought it, and was just like, it's a RED camera, and didn't really know anything about the RED
workflow. Well, because it's a great camera at that price point. I'm not gonna say it's $6,000 because that's what it used to be. Was cheap. It's not cheap, right? It's still a very privileged place to be able to pick up a Komodo, but because of what REDs used to cost, that was a easy way to like step in, get your feet wet, and learn the ecosystem. Because that's what I did. I bought the OG Komodo. Got my feet wet, started learning the workflow a lot better. I had rented REDs in the past, but I'll be honest, I never really figured out the workflow because it's different when you own it versus when you're renting it. You only have so long with it to figure it out, and you're trying to rush and get your project done. But you really get a chance to learn and live with that camera when you have it for a few months. And so at $6,000, now $5,000, you could get the camera, learn it, figure it out. And for me, that made me feel more confident knowing when I was ready to go up to the Raptor, okay, this is the move I want to make. But I think for a lot of people, getting the OG Komodo, they'll be very happy with it. They'll get a really great deal on it, probably if they're okay buying one used. And even if you buy a new one, you're getting $1,000 off for no reason other than you just can now, right? It's not like Labor Day sale. Like it's just like, yeah, here you go, $5,000 now. Like that to me is a huge win for the industry, whether you're a RED shooter or not. Because like, let's be honest, dude. Like Nikon making this change, or whether it was RED who made the change, Canon saw it. Yeah, Sony saw it. And they have to now look at not only their existing cameras, but the next camera that they release, and they have to look at the new market price and be like, okay, how do we compete against that? That's going to make everything change.
Dude, we all win. But I will say, Cam Mackey has some theories.
All right.
If you just go up to a little bit, not that one, and... where's it on here? Oh, there it is.
All right. We had a super chat. Let me hit the super chat really quick. Okay, so I'm going to just hit this one up really fast. Go ahead and read that one off for me.
Yeah, it says, what y'all think about the DJI Neo? Basically the same image quality of a $30 Android phone off Temu. Odd move for DJI, who can make some awesome cameras.
So we have an entire section. We're definitely going to come back over to this. So we'll hit this one up in a little bit.
Yes, but we appreciate the super chat.
And we do appreciate the super chat, but we always try to honor those. I just want to make sure we didn't miss anything else. But all right, let's go. You said Cam Mackey has some theories?
Yeah, here's some theories on why the price drop.
All right, here's the first one.
It says, I asked some of my contacts what's behind the price drops. I got mixed replies, from Nikon having better access to materials, manufacturing, becoming cheaper, etc. But regardless, Nikon is swinging.
Yeah, and then here's the next one.
Nikon is clearly aiming for legacy, which is good for all of us.
So I actually have a very similar theory, I think, to Cam. So when I went to Cine Gear, I had the privilege of going to RED's their factory, where they assemble the actual cameras. Now, I learned a lot. Right? There's certain things they could tell me, certain things they couldn't tell me. But one thing that I saw that was really interesting was like they kind of were talking to me a little bit about like the process of like getting sensors, right? So like for everyone out there, just so you know, like when a company buys a sensor, it actually shows up on like a circle, like a disc, almost looks like a frisbee, like a super thin frisbee. And we all know that sensors, most sensors, are square or rectangle, or like depending on if it's a 1-inch sensor versus a VistaVision sensor, that size of that rectangle changes. But here's the crazy part. The size of the circle is always the same, right? So if you can imagine, if you have this circle, you can fit way more iPhone sensors on that circle than you can VistaVision sensors. And so when any company needs a camera, they have to buy these sensor discs. And here is the insane part. I never thought about how many people needed sensors, because when you think about Ford, right? Like I drive a Bronco and there are cameras all over my deal, right? Or a Tesla that has tons of cameras everywhere. Each one of those cameras needs a sensor. So Tesla is ordering these sensor circle things, and Nikon is ordering these sensor circle things. Ford, security cameras. Everywhere you see a camera, ATMs, they're
webcams.
All of them are ordering these sensors. So when you think about a company like RED having to put in an order by themselves versus Ford or versus Tesla, they're a very small player. And so this is no information coming from RED or anything. This is just my theory. If you can imagine, since Nikon now comes in, RED needs sensors, Nikon needs sensors, they could probably put in their order together and get a much better price. And so for those people who are like, were the Reds always overpriced by $3,000? I don't think that was the case. I legitimately think we are seeing the benefits of a bigger company like Nikon acquiring a smaller brand like RED, and not only seeing that like, oh, this changes supply chain, but the truth is that this could have changed supply chain and they could have just kept selling the Reds at the same price. But I think, to Cam's point, I think what's happening here, and this is Brandon contemplating, but I think what's happening here is we are seeing RED and Nikon saying, okay, we can save money on the manufacturing. Let's pass those savings on to our new and future users, right? And let's build a solid brand connection with them and pass those savings off to them. Get in some good standings, right? Because let's face it, anybody who was in the market for a Komodo X already, you can save $3,000. Bro, you're happy now, right? Get into some good standings with them. But also, we can get our cameras in more hands. More people are actually going to be able to now afford our cameras because we've made them more price effective. And now we can get more users, get more feedback, and really build up that name. So I do understand, like I said, with every pro, there's a con. Yes, the used market is going to take a hit on this. But for everybody who's now ready to enter into the RED world, dude, I think this is a huge win for those people. And we're seeing those savings being passed on to us.
100%. When you think about literally Nikon's status in the world of videography film a year ago, you guys know what y'all were saying about Nikon. Y'all know that people, like, literally when they were thinking about Nikon rumors or they were talking about what's coming up, people weren't talking about Nikon. Literally this year, we can't say Nikon enough. Like, they are just making wave after wave after wave. And absolutely, I do think that for the legacy part of it, I think that they are being so aggressive, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, and I just want to clarify, Scott, in case I misspoke. I don't think I did, but I made a misspoke here. Yeah, I'm not saying that RED can put in their order with Ford. What I'm saying is those other brands are putting in orders in bulk, right? And I think I'm not sure about this number, but I think there's only like 3 companies in the world that actually make sensors. And so when you get an order, like if you're one of those 3 companies, if Ford sends you an order, you're probably going to process the Ford order much faster because they're ordering way more sensors than what RED is probably ordering in comparison. And so that's the point that I was making. It has nothing to do with like, oh, Ford and RED can order at the same time. They can't. But Nikon can now put in orders, and those orders can now be sold in bulk with the RED since it's all one company. Now, granted, the discs are not the same. You're not going to put a Nikon Z8 sensor on the same disc as a RED disc, but because one company is putting in the order and you're ordering so many sensors in bulk, the pricing becomes more affordable. And I think that's why they can pass those savings on to us. So I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you, Scott, for fact checking me there. Appreciate it. But yeah, dude, I am super excited about this. Let's go into the chat really quick because I know there was some pretty good ones. So let's find a couple in here. If you see one that stands out, let me know.
Yes. Oh, look at that. DM Colorist says, go up a few more. He says, go with the Monstro. Can pick up a Monstro kit for similar price as kitted with the new KX.
You know, that's interesting. I didn't think about that, but I'm sure. I mean, obviously, I figured the shockwaves or the OG Komodo, but like Monstro sensors Monstro packages are probably pretty affordable right now too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you could easily step into the. I'm gonna say easily. That's the wrong word. I got to be careful what I say.
Yeah.
But you could step into the world of RED right now in a easier manner than you could 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
Well, we were talking about this before. Marquez Brownlee, like literally watching him while he's like a little baby, like literally unbox his first RED camera. And I remember thinking then, that is when my heart was sold to RED. Like one day, I want to own a RED camera just like he owned a RED camera. But like those being like $45,000 back in the day, like it's like, I don't know what. Thankfully, I had that dream in my youth because had I had that dream when I was a full adult, I'd be like, yeah, I ain't never owning that. And so it just planted a seed. And so now, man, a $7,000 KX. Yeah. And the Monstros and all sort of stuff. That is really cool.
All right. Here's one from Gustavo. Let's pull this one up. I'll let you read that.
He says, here's something I'm not seeing at all online. How's the Komodo X and the RF Canon glass when it comes to autofocus? Yeah, that's a question. Heard they came out of beta, but it's a huge factor as a solo shooter.
You know, I've seen this question a lot, and actually on my Instagram, I ask people, you know, what questions do you have when it comes to being as a non-RED owner? And the autofocus is a big one. So I can say I come from an era of RED where there was no autofocus. And then getting into the Komodo and then eventually the Raptor and even Komodo X, autofocus being in beta. But it's very odd because I saw the Komodo X come out and I helped, you know, with the launch video that RED even posted. And we had tested the autofocus in that video and were pleasantly surprised. But the autofocus, it wasn't like face tracking or anything. Like it was just like locked autofocus. You could put a box, and we tried to cheat it by like holding the phone and dragging the box around in order to keep the autofocus. And like surprisingly, that worked.
Yeah,
which was insane. And then recently, I say recently, 5-ish, 6-ish months maybe, the Komodo X got an update that now has face tracking autofocus. So I'll be very honest here. Is it Sony quality or Canon quality autofocus? No, it's not.
How far off? If you had to, like, if not that Sony or Canon's a 10, but if we're putting them at a 10, where would you?
I would put this somewhere close to, like, back in the day, we were always happy with like Canon DSLR autofocus, right? That's where I would probably put this. Somewhere around there. What? It's just that with mirrorless cameras, autofocus has gotten ridiculous. Eye tracking and all that.
You brought me back to my 1DX Mark II days, and literally like the because I feel you, bro. I was like, I was on that face tracking deal,
Yeah.
and like I was like, yeah, this is cool, until I stepped up to mirrorless and was like,
And that's the thing.
dang.
Mirrorless made a huge jump.
Huge jump.
With eye autofocus and
Yeah.
everything else, and like pets and planes and like all this. So like, no, we're not there.
Okay,
On the Raptor or Komodo X or OG Komodo for that matter. But here's the thing: I have never seen a camera flat out not have a feature like
Mm-hmm.
that and then get it.
Well, it's a supercomputer.
But that's it. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. So if I'm a betting man, I have more trust
Yeah.
that if it is possible to get this camera to that level,
Yeah.
if there was a camera brand, an existing camera that they're not going to just release another one and make you buy that next one, I believe that the actual RED existing Komodo X could get a software update that could give you better autofocus than what it currently has today. Because I've seen a big jump already. And then the other thing that a lot of people don't know or don't talk about is that there is something called the RED Control Pro app, right? So it's a pro app that you download on your iPad and your iPhone. And here's the wild thing about it. Face tracking autofocus was on that app before it ever made it to the actual camera, which is nuts. And I found out by accident because Red didn't announce it.
Were they like testing it, or like they?
I don't really know. Like, this is one feedback that I've given to Red multiple times. Like, they don't share all of the things that make their cameras great well enough. And like, I get it. They trust like people like me and other creators who love their cameras to talk about them openly and share those things. But like, coming from the company, that would help a lot. But like, I was literally playing on my Control Pro app, and I'm like messing around with like, oh, can I autofocus from this app? And I noticed it was like tracking my face. I was like, what the heck? It can do this? Red never told me this. And I figured it out. Now, if I go into the camera couldn't turn it on. It only was happening from the app itself. And so this is where things got really, interesting and pretty cool, which then later on that feature made it over to the actual computer.
That's cool.
And so like, we've seen stuff like that already. Like the Pro app right now has a gyroscope that can actually tell you if your camera is level or not. That's not on the actual camera. It's only in the Pro app. So like, Red is constantly, and their engineers are constantly doing things to make their cameras better, to where I personally feel like if a camera could get a upgrade to get it to as good as Sony, it could be the Komodo X. The only thing that holds me back from really being able to push all my chips in on that is the fact that Nikon bought them. And I don't know how nice Nikon and Canon are going to play together, because when we talk about Sony autofocus or we talk about Canon autofocus, it's always Canon body, RF Canon lens,
Native
or
glass.
Sony body, native Sony lens. And even when we start talking about throwing Sigmas on there and throwing Tamarons on there, it's always, well, how much of the autofocus am I going to sacrifice, right? Well, now we have a RED, but a Nikon body, and we have a Canon lens.
Yeah.
And it's not 100% native, and the engineers are not working hand in hand. And so I think we will always see a slight limitation there. But if there is a day that we get a Z-mounted RED camera, I think that's when we're going to start to see full autofocus unlocked, and we could get close to mirrorless levels. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
not me
yeah.
knowing anything, but that's
Yeah.
just my opinions.
No, that's good.
All right, sorry, that was a little bit of a tangent. Shout out to Mr. Camera Junkie, letting everybody know, go subscribe to the Uncensored channel. This is the link in there. By the way, we currently have 101 people watching over on the Uncensored channel right now.
Wow, that's crazy.
109 people watching over on the Uncensored channel, and I appreciate y'all. And I'm not getting the number wrong this time, Jarrell.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at YouTube Studio right here
I'm in YouTube Studio.
for Creative for Uncensored.
Brandon Washington.
Oh, see, I'm in Uncensored.
We're at 128 on Brandon Washington.
Well, everybody on the Brandon Washington, go over to the Uncensored and watch over on the Uncensored. Because this week, just so everybody is aware, this week the replay will only be available on the Uncensored channel.
Dang,
So
Brandon.
make sure if you showed up late, you check us out over on the Uncensored channel.
Brandon, we popular today.
Hey, look, I think this is a topic that everyone is hyped about. So
Seriously.
I am definitely here for it. All right, let's see. Let's run through these really, really quick because you guys know this week we live. If you are somebody who does just watch the replay, also think about tuning in live, 11 o'clock on Fridays.
So I saw a comment.
Yeah.
You might not be able to get to it, but Marcus said,
Okay, let me see if I can find him real quick.
I think he's at the top. He's at the top.
Okay.
And anyways, Marcus. Right now, I am experiencing a little bit of some hot flashes with the price drop. I'm just like, oh my goodness. But I will tell you, 100% for me, I do love the C70. I'm not selling the C70. This is something that's a little bit different, I think, with me. I'm not good at the used market in the sense that I will use a camera till it dies. Like, I don't ever, when I buy a camera, I don't ever really intend on reselling it. So anyways, I love the C70. I love the R6. I will say one of the things that I am looking forward to in my next camera, whether that be the C400 or the KX, is genuinely the C70 I love, but thinking about moving to full frame, that would be a good reason to go to the C400. I've always been a full frame shooter. I love that. I love the low light in that. I love the features and the sets of the C400, but I got to tell you what is causing these hot flashes is the KX and the price drop. I have always wanted a RED, have always thought that it wasn't really all that attainable. And now because of the clientele that I'm taking on and the different protections that I'm using, it seems like it would make sense in the workflow and the things that I'm trying to accomplish. And so, yeah, I will be honest with you, much like a lot of you guys, I have a little bit of that RED craze right now. It may settle. You might be seeing me on stream with the KX in a couple weeks.
I was gonna say it's gonna settle when it ships, bro.
It may settle, but it also might. I don't know. You might see me with one. So I don't suggest this path for everyone. Because I have my own video production company and have clients and all sort of stuff. This is a business expense.
It's a business. Write that sucker off. Shout out to Vu, bro. Nice to see you. He says, I'd get one just to walk around and look professional.
Bro, your skits kill me, bro.
Right?
Your shorts. I feel like we get canceled if we even try to imitate your skits right now.
I did like the safe for work version.
He ain't got no safe for work version. If you have not checked out his shorts, you might go check him out.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody should go check out.
If you have a sense of humor and don't get triggered.
I don't think you can watch this show and not have a sense of humor. We see what happens when people watch this show and they don't have a sense of humor. They leave really odd comments and then they never come back. So shout out to those people.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Running through these really quick. Let's see. Someone else said, oh, hey, Rare Faction Media. Love you too, bro. Let's see. We got a bunch of people over on Uncensored.
146? What?
Yeah, I don't think he's looking at the same number I'm looking at.
Well, maybe he saw it. When was that? Like 3 minutes ago?
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe he's ahead of me. But yeah, by the way, so everybody knows this is the Uncensored show, as you can see right here.
Yes.
And yeah, we have the Uncensored YouTube channel. We appreciate it when you guys check it out. Yeah, Mr. Camera Junkie, if you can pin that, I don't know, can we pin that? Is that something we can do?
Yeah, let me find it.
Well, we'll figure it out.
1, 2, 3, and
boom,
pin message.
Yeah, let's do that.
Is that what it says? Pin message?
I guess. I don't know.
Sure.
I'm not looking at what you're looking at.
All right, yeah.
But yeah, shout out to everybody who's tuning in over on the Uncensored side. Oh, numbers are jumping up. We appreciate it.
Yes.
But yeah, dude, we are having an absolute blast talking about this. All right, let's cap this real quick. Hey, everybody in the chat, I'm gonna go full Jarrell. Everybody who's excited about this price drop. Everybody who's talking about $3,000 savings, looking at accessories. This is the big uncensored question. Are you buying or are we just talking?
Bro,
Are you buying or are we just talking?
We
Chat, let me know. Are you buying or are we just talking?
Are you buying the KX or are you buying the Komodo? Let us know. Buying or talking.
So you're like, you're buying something.
Yeah. No, well, just let us know if you're buying or you're talking. Like either or, the Komodo or the KX. Brandon, this has probably been the closest to get me out of the Canon ecosystem that I've ever experienced.
But you're
in my life.
but you're halfway in, halfway out. Because I'll be honest with you, Nikon buying RED was kind of insane, because it was like RED kind of put themselves up on the tee for Canon to just buy them and hit a home run, because everything, I mean, even the OG Komodo battery system was like old Canon BP batteries, where Canon could just be like, oh, turn that factory back on. Let's make some more of those batteries we already had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, I don't know this information, but I feel like somebody at RED was like, how do we think we can get Canon to buy us?
Do you think that they knew RED was $85 million? I think if they knew RED was $85 million, I think they would have.
You think Canon?
I think Canon would have.
I mean, maybe.
Because before the valuation, before it was purchased,
Yeah.
to be honest, probably a lot of us thought that RED as a company, its valuation was much higher. I wonder if people knew it was 85, I wonder if Canon would have scooped them.
Do you think Nikon only knew because they were getting sued?
I think Nikon just had that money.
You think they just had the bag? They were like, yo, how much are you?
Because if I was Nikon in the lawsuit, and this is probably not how it went down. If I'm Nikon in the lawsuit, I might just be fishing. All right, 50. They're like, we would never sell for 50. 75? That's pretty. That
Let's
sounds
get the
pretty good.
negotiators in here.
85. Sold.
Gone.
80, and Nikon's like, yeah, we're just gonna discount some of our lenses.
Dude, let's just sell off. And that's the other crazy thing. I don't think many people have talked about this, but like Nikon also just discounted a ton of their legacy lenses.
Yeah, their DSLR.
Nikon's making moves, bro.
Dude,
Nikon is absolutely making moves right now.
Storming the gates.
Yeah, it's pretty insane right now. There's too many cameras coming out. Let me see. This is Cam. Okay, so yes, this is people. They're just talking. Here we go. Cam says there's too many cameras coming out. I'm gonna wait for the next 3 months before buying anything.
So this was my thought process. 100%. I know the C400 is supposed to come out in the fall. I had no purchasing plans until February. But here's the problem. I've been sitting in an office with a KX for two year now. And so I have seen it for so long. I know what I'm getting into. So I feel you, Cam. Like, that was the plan. The plan was to wait, but oh my gosh.
Well, dude, first off, a lot of love in the show for Vu, but let's go. Let's see what we're doing. Kofi, are you talking or? Oh, he says no, we cannot. No, okay.
Yeah, seriously, he just sold.
Yeah.
No, this is the perfect time to buy back in.
Yeah, this is it. Dude,
You're up.
you're up.
You're up.
I don't know what you sold your KX for, but like, bro, you're up. You're up right now. Jump back in the game. That's how you do it.
All right. Are they talking?
Sell high, buy low. FSB says nope.
Just talking.
Good. Gremlin Media says, I'm super excited. Still can't afford it.
Yes.
Bro, go look at that used market.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like a lot more people.
You skipped one.
Which one?
Right under Gremlin.
Oh, here we go.
Just talking.
Just talking.
Waiting for RED to be sold again.
Who's?
And have another price drop.
Oh my. Oh gosh. Let's see. Gustavo says Paybu payment plan on B&H. Looking hella fine right now. And no taxes. Get
And
out
no
of here.
taxes.
Oh wait, no, you don't get the payment plan.
You
with
get
the-
either or.
Yeah, either or. That's wild.
0% or no.
No taxes. Ron says just talking, but might buy later. Here's the thing. This is what I think is insane. Like, so even like EP, I don't know if that's actually her name, but EP episode 2. He says, I like talking. Here's the thing. This is not a sale. That's the thing that keeps like blowing my mind. Like, there's not like, if you're a company and you're like, we need a bunch of sales right now. We saw Blackmagic do this. They discounted the
1,500.
the 4K down to 1,500 or 6K
6K.
full frame cinema camera. They discounted it, but it was a limited run. And then after that, price went back up, and that was it. Right? Shook up the industry for a little bit, but like, kind of kept it pushing. This is the new price. So even if you're just talking today, 1 or 2 clients.
If you keep
bro.
talking,
1 or 2 clients.
you might
bro.
be buying.
You might be buying.
Carlos ordered one.
Carlos says, I ordered another KX this morning. Bro, everybody ain't got Carlos money, bro.
Carlos said he canceled his C400 order.
I mean, for him, bro, he's got a lot. He's already rocking. I think he has a Raptor X2 as well. He has a Raptor X as well. And then I think he already has a KX. So
yeah,
makes sense. Mark Holloway says, buy it, y'all. He's in the game. He's in the game. Rob Machado says, y'all talking.
Rob, what you shooting on, Rob?
What are you doing, Rob?
Rob, what are you shooting on? Dude.
He's always shooting on a red. What you talking about?
He is always shooting on a red. And so that's what I'm asking. Like, dude, that's crazy. Does this, and no Sony hate, although we know y'all be hating Sony. Does this make the Burano?
Oh.
Does the KX being $7,000? I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Does it make the Burano a pit in your stomach? Not Rob, you specifically, but just any Burano owners, like, or are we just talking about 2 different cameras?
I think we're just talking about 2 different cameras. But if you're talking about getting an image,
that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
because you could buy 3.
Yeah, that's tough.
No, and this is what we were talking about. Seriously, when Red did this price drop, they put everybody on notice.
Yes.
C400, you need to come out today. Like, even if it's limited, you need to come out to start shipping today. I don't know nothing about logistics. I don't know nothing about supply chain.
Drill's like, I don't care what it takes.
I'm just telling you,
drop
if
it.
You've got 6, put them in a box, send them out. People need to see the C400, and they need to see if that is what's good. Everybody else, $7,000. Like, oh my, like.
This price drop obviously has Jarrell
The FX.
shook.
I'm just saying, like Sony, like, what are you doing? Where's the FX3 at? Where's the FX6 Mark II? Like, ain't nobody buying no FX9. Not with a $7,000 KX.
I mean,
it's like it is done like even like the crazy thing with the Pixis. The crazy thing with the Pixis is it's $3,000. That's a dope price point. People probably can afford the Pixis better than they can afford the KX. But
you can't.
The next offering is $15,000 from Blackmagic.
Yeah.
So if you're not in the market for a rehouse 6K, you're not $15K. I don't know if I'm spending $15K.
Yeah.
I'm getting the KX. So they have done the KX price drop has literally sent shocks, which I'm here for because now I don't think the C400 is going to get $1,000 price drop, but
I think they tried to build it in, but it's tough. It's tough.
might need to do a couple of price readjustments.
I think the whole industry is about to get some price readjustments. Quick question coming in here from Matt Wells. He says, does the RED Komodo X have an EVF mount option, or would I have to get an adapter? So there is. Oh wait.
EF.
Oh, EF.
Yeah.
My bad. I thought it said EVF.
$100.
I don't think it came with one.
It does not. There's
the OG
not an
Komodo
EF.
came with one,
Yes.
and my Raptor came with one, but I don't think the X came with one.
RF only.
But you can get an adapter for $100.
$100.
Yeah.
Or
Or
get a cheaper one.
Is it like $200 for the
Canon
drop-in
one.
filter?
No, that's $400.
That's $400. Okay, you can get the Canon one for $100, but there are cheaper ones online.
Yes.
But yeah, Scott says, yeah, just get an adapter. Yeah. Sig 310 says my bank account is talking. So I mean, it's wild. I think the thing that makes Red super interesting, and let me see. Someone says drop the price $3,000 to spend $3,000 in accessories.
Small HD was like, they dropping prices. We ain't dropping prices.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. The issue, or I guess the thing that most people are so shook about this price is just that it felt like it came out of nowhere. And the thing I think that's really interesting about Red that makes it unique is that even though technically they are owned by Nikon, I think a lot of people have the same mindset as when we talked about if DJI released a camera, is that you could pick up a RED camera and shoot RED, but still not feel the need to get rid of like your Sonys or have to leave your existing system, because it's such a unique thing that would live in and of itself.
Yeah.
Like, people don't say, oh, I'm a DJI shooter, but they still shoot Canon or Nikon or RED or Sony or whatever, right? But I think a lot of people in all spaces, whether you are a Sony shooter right now, you're a Panasonic shooter right now, you're a Canon shooter, I think a lot of people could see themselves legitimately picking up a RED, throwing on an adapter, and just keep it pushing with their existing stuff. And especially if you're coming from Canon, it's super easy to
100%.
make that jump.
Yeah.
Because
I will
you got
spend
like 4 or 5 EF lenses right now.
Yeah, I will easily, if I get it, I will easily spend the next 4 or 5 months shooting everything on the KX, like $200 interviews on the on the KX, just to get used to it.
Yeah,
yeah.
You're like, for the next 6 months, I'm taking all projects.
All projects. But I will say, once the high storage, once that wears off and all that sort of stuff, I will easily be using my C70 and R6 Mark IIs appropriately for the right jobs.
Yeah, this is absolutely insane. Scott says Nikon is not playing around. They are definitely not. Super excited. This has been crazy news. I'm actually like,
oh wow,
good night. Y'all have been going crazy.
We've been talking about one thing for an hour.
I know. Gee. It's a new structure of the show. Marcus says $5 super chat. Shout out to you, Marcus. Unnecessary, but thank you. Don't buy. Just cop a couple of Cook SP3s and love you, fellas.
I'm not fancy enough for some Cooks, but I will tell you, I am looking at those Nisi Athena Primes. And thank you, Scott, for reviewing them, because they are some fine wine for not fine wine prices.
Dude, I thought I couldn't find it, but I think Cam, he said we're a bunch of Komodo shields. Dude, this is just big news.
Bro, if I'm being 1,000% honest, sign me up. RED.
I'm ready to sign up.
RED. This is my appeal to you right now.
Oh, God.
I mean, if you want to send one, I will shill. I'll shill.
Jarrell's opinions are available to the highest bidder.
So this is the crazy part. Like, obviously, we do the show together. Love you guys. Love Brandon. Like, I have not, like, I've made some like YouTube videos, but I'm not like a part of this YouTube world. And so like, I sense the heat that YouTubers get when they shill, when they sponsor, all this sort of stuff. Bro, I don't feel that way. Send me that check.
Terrell say, I don't care about your comments.
Seriously.
Your comments don't have no zeros on them.
I will put a RED camera right here every show and collect a check.
Terrell ready to sell out. Oh, man. This is hilarious. But yeah, that is the news around the RED price drop, bro. This has definitely been crazy. Now, dude, I feel weird even transitioning into this next story. But you have it, right?
Oh, yes. No, but this is giving me some hope.
Yeah?
This is giving me some hope.
What is it?
It may sound like I am literally turning my back on Canon. I've been a Canon shooter for life, except for my very first camera, which is Nikon.
Which was a what?
Nikon.
What was it? Say that again. Louder
But it
for
didn't
the kids
shoot.
in the back.
But it didn't shoot video. So then we got the T2i. But from Canon rumors, and I will say this: we talked about this dang near 5 months ago.
Yeah.
Canon was rumored at the beginning of this year to drop 5 cameras.
Okay.
What cameras have they dropped so far?
We got the C400, R5 II, R1, and
I think that's it.
Is that all we got so far?
Yeah. Major cameras.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that leaves open 2 more slots.
You still think they're going to drop another camera this year?
Oh, I know. I've read some stuff on some rumors.
I was going to say, you know something. You didn't tell me nothing.
All right. So check this out. Canon Rumors is reporting a new cinema camera below the Cinema EOS C400 is coming before IBC.
Oh, are we thinking like a C70 too? Or
So it could be a C70 Mark II,
okay.
but I've also heard rumors that they're gonna use the C400 sensor. So
That's a
potentially
full frame sensor,
a full
though.
frame. So what people have been speculating is this a C200, C90? What is it? Obviously the C200 wasn't a full frame, but like are they thinking is this like a C200 successor? Is this a C70? I don't know.
How could okay? So wait a minute, just because I'm not as well versed in the Canon lineup as you, so I could be wrong here. C400 is 8,000. C70 is 6,000.
Maybe a little less.
But it came out at 6,000.
Yes.
Right. So like, and then the R5 Mark II is like 4,000. There's not a lot of wiggle room in there price wise. Like I don't see the ladder.
They have precedence though.
What do you mean?
Canon turned into Sony for a little bit. When they started releasing a $1,200 camera, a $1,400 camera, a $1,800 camera through their R8, R8, 9, 10.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So obviously they did like very minutia price differences for a little bit.
Okay.
And so I think that there could be room for and this is where I got to be honest with you. Based off of feelings, I don't think that they should put out a full frame. I mean, I'd be here for it. I think they need to follow up with the C70.
You think a C70 too?
Crop sensor,
Okay.
Mark II, put it at 6K. Do nothing else.
No.
Do nothing else.
They should do some other stuff.
Upgrade the screen. Upgrade the screen.
Update that whole hinge system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like literally, the C70 is so close to being a fun. It is currently today a phenomenal camera.
Yeah.
If you correct the softness, which if we're gonna be honest, y'all be putting that glimmer glass black pro mist stuff on it anyways to soften it anyways.
Why are you calling out the chat?
It just comes.
Why are you calling out the chat?
I'm not calling out
you
the
say
chat.
y'all be putting that
I'm
crap
just saying.
on, y'all be putting
I
Vaseline
didn't
on
say-
your lenses.
I didn't say it was crap. I'm saying it's so funny to me when we get that over sharpened digital image. Y'all be trying to make it soft. C70 gets ragged on for being soft. Just love the woman you got. Anyways, but if they solve the soft problems with the 6K,
Yeah.
you kept it crop, so there's a differentiation between the C400 and the C70 Mark II. My dude, fix the video hinge or the screen.
Yeah.
You're golden. That's all you, to me, that's all you have to do for a C70. And you put it at $5,000. And whatever you have to do to make sure that the color science matches. Nah, give me the DGO. Screw the C400 matching.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Keep the DGO.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so tough. I would like for there to be a companion to the C400, but honestly, give me that DG. Run that back again.
Yeah. No, I get it. I feel like, I mean, because you're saying the rumor says there's going to be a full frame sensor, I think if they do run a full frame sensor, I think our best bet is they put that sensor inside of like a R5C Mark II. I don't really necessarily want an R5C Mark II. Like I'm going to keep asking for a 1RC. Like give me the R1 body. Put the full frame sensor in there. It already has a space for it, right? That would be more interesting to me. Now, I understand C70 owners are definitely clamoring for version 2, but when we look at cameras that need upgrades, the C70, as you mentioned, is already a very phenomenal camera. The R5C, not a phenomenal camera. It's got major problems. Like,
We are getting one more from them, so maybe.
Is it cinema? Is it guaranteed? Like, are we thinking it's going to be a cinema camera?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. But I'm just saying, like, I think the C70 is fine as is and could probably do another year on the cycle. But I don't think the R5C could do another year on the cycle. they've got to figure out battery, and they've got to make some other adjustments to it.
Now,
And
do you want it to have the cinema menus, or do you just want it to focus on not overheating? Throw a fan in it, because I feel like you could hypothetically deal with all the battery issues if you take that cinema menu out.
I mean, as it currently stands, yes. But I still don't really fully understand. And like I was at NAB a year ago, 2 years ago, whenever the R5C came out. And I was at their booth for an hour trying to understand why the cinema menu, why booting it up in that menu system was so damning to the battery. And after an hour of talking to them, and I'm not an engineer, nobody could give me a good answer. They just kept giving me alternative battery solutions. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, you're supposed to use an external anchor battery, or we got this new cable that you plug in and it'll unlock most of the camera's features, but you can't record in 8K up to 60 frames or whatever it was. Like there are all these limitations. And so I'm just like, squash all of that. If that means getting rid of the cinema menus, then get rid of them. I don't care. I don't want them.
Yeah.
But I think the big question, I'm going to pull a Jarrell and bring this back to Red. What's the price point, bro? Because that's all that matters at this point. Like,
that's why you gotta be. You gotta
all
be.
I care about is the price
sub-5.
point.
You gotta be sub-5, and it's gotta be ready out the box. And Canon has traditionally been ready out of the box.
Yeah. I will say, Red and Ari are probably like the only two brands that are like notoriously not ready out of the box. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, I would expect nothing less from a Canon to be ready out of the box. But bro, what's the price point?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see, because I saw some really good comments coming through because Scott was on it, and y'all be knowing. I think Scott be knowing more stuff than I do. But yeah, Scott also agreed with you. Love the Athenas. Obviously, he did. And a couple people were cool with you selling out also.
Go back to Scott right there.
What do you say?
Jarrell, you either get the KX or the GoPro 13. I've never owned a GoPro.
Never?
Never.
Oh, I have. They always let me down.
I'm actually in the market.
For a GoPro?
For a used one.
Oh, there you go.
For $100.
There you go.
Anybody know new GoPro 15?
Are they on 15 right now?
No, they're on 13. But
oh, okay. But yeah, no, this is someone says, can we get Jarrell's Canon Corner segment? That's actually a good name. DM
Canon
Colors.
Corner.
We might borrow that. That's a fantastic name. I love alliterations. Jarrell is fighting demons right now. Bro, this is so real. Oh, this is so real. I love it. Someone says it won't beat the FX4. I don't care. Yeah, okay. That camera that doesn't currently exist.
That doesn't exist.
This is Canon.
But you know what your FX, I ain't trying to get hate. I'm not trying to get haterade, but you know what your FX3 Mark II is not getting? RAW.
Because who owns that patent now?
Not getting RAW. And Canon has it, so.
No, absolutely. What do you guys feel? Someone said, Scott says they're gonna have to cripple it. It's gonna be below a C200.
Hey, Scott, they're done with that. They're done with that, bro. They're done with that cripple camera.
I don't know, man.
Cripple hammer.
Look at the R1.
Cam Mackey got some insider knowledge.
Jarrell, wait a few weeks before buying an action camera. Yeah.
Cam, in chat, you guys know this. What is the best like 360 that's not eternally like frustrating?
You want a 360 camera?
Kind of. I kind of want it to be like, I want to be able to set a camera for BTS.
So we just got another super chat from Scapo. He says DJI Action 4 is $270 and reliable. Love it for BTS. I think I'm gonna rock with Cam on this one and say you may just want to wait.
This man, Sony came up with that fake RAW from Ron. You're on.
Sony came out. No, Sony does give you what is it? ProRes RAW, but it's always out through the HDMI to an Atomos and all that. Who wants that workflow?
And then True Eagle. I'm not begging for any smoke. I'm just talking.
He's just talking. What are you talking about? This is uncensored. This is what we do. Scott says, Canon did not hire Jarrell to rope.
They should have. You should have. If you would have hired me, you would have had the one RC. You'd have a C70 Mark II. That's it. That's all I got. Yeah, don't hire me. I only got vision for 2 cameras.
Very selfish vision. Carlos coming in, sorry, with the super chat. He says, Jarrell, the C400 doesn't really exist right now. I mean,
You've seen it.
Well, I saw one of their production. I saw
At
all
Cinegear.
6 of them.
Yeah.
Like literally, that's what they told me.
And they need to box them up and send them out.
Send them to us. We'll make sure people know about them. Super chat coming in from Cam Mackey as well. Jarrell, explain the new R5 II battery cripple hammer then.
Ooh. Well, here's the deal. Here's my shill mode.
Oh.
I don't know. This is what I'm just gonna say. You guys can't keep. Yeah, we're yelling at you, chat. We're yelling at you, chat. Y'all can't keep asking. Y'all can't keep asking for 8K and 10K and 12K and not upgrade the battery. You got to. And that's gonna be my shill PSA for the day. But like, if we're gonna keep doing 8K 60, if we're gonna keep doing RAW, if we're gonna do that internal, I'm assumption that the battery has to get better. Now, that doesn't explain. Now, I am a fair person. That does not explain them only allowing you to do 4K 30 with every other battery. You're trash for that, Canon.
Hey, at least you
trash for
owned
that.
it, because I was about to ask.
You're trash for that.
That was a rough move. That's a rough move.
No. I will say I understand the need for a new battery for new features. I cannot for the life of me understand you limiting 4K 30. Like, firmware update, change it. And if you don't change it, gosh, man, you're just going to continue to rub people the wrong way.
Yeah. So, I mean, I definitely think they got to make some big changes here.
What does Brandon want to send me?
Brandon wants to send you some batteries, I think.
How about you send me your Leicas, bro?
This
You
man,
have a few.
dude, you just straight went mouse a cookie, bro. he's like, oh, I'll send you some batteries. You're like, oh, well, if you're gonna give this mouse a cookie, I'm gonna ask for your Leicas.
No. Brandon, I watch your podcast and I like your Leica stuff, so it's cool. That was just a joke. It's a joke.
All jokes.
I ain't never shot on a Leica.
But yeah, no, he says need more batteries. Dude, it is insane. I hope that's the rumor that I'm hoping for. I don't know if it's actually a rumor, but I'm gonna say it's a rumor.
What's that?
I just want Canon to fix the whole battery situation across everything. I just feel like every time they do a big release, there is some type of battery gate that happens.
Yes.
R5C battery gate. Even the R5 Mark I. We released a new battery. It's got the little gold thing on it. This is the battery you need to buy. It's more expensive. Battery gate. Now the new R5 Mark II. Battery gate. It's just like every time they do something with
that serious? A battery gate?
I think it is. Wow. It's every camera. Every camera, they're having these battery issues.
Yeah.
So it's
issues.
Just
that's a fine word. Battery gate sounds like, what did iPhone do back in the day? Ben gate.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Crack.
That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about these constant battery issues coming. So
yeah.
It's a little bit going on. Scott says the engineers aren't at NAB. Yeah, I figured that out the hard way.
Yes.
Let's see. Let's go through some more of these. And I think that's one of the reasons why we like the C70.
Yes.
Battery simple.
And
usability is simple.
It is battery for days.
Yeah.
Like the BB30 is, or the 30 is, lasts me almost an entire shoot day.
Yeah.
Obviously not with the camera being on the whole day, but the 60, bro.
Yeah, I look at I'm here with EPO2. Like battery issues are efficiency issues. Like I told y'all, like for those of you guys who've been rocking with us for a while, I've got 2 issues that I cannot deal with cameras.
Mm-hmm.
I just won't deal with them. 1, battery issues. 2, overheating issues. Because in both situations, I have to stop working. I can't do anything without them. Like if your battery dies too quickly, I can't shoot anymore. If the camera overheats and shut off, I can't shoot anymore. If a camera has any other issue, I can probably figure it out. I can rig something onto it. The monitor's not good enough. I can rig another monitor on there. Or if the ergonomics aren't exactly right, I can put a cage on there, add a handle, do whatever I need. But in all of those situations, I can still keep shooting. You give me battery problems, you're basically saying, I don't care what you have to do right now, Brandon. I need to take a break.
Brandon, chill. Get that Caleb battery. It's huge, bro.
Dude, it's so I struggle. It is huge, but it's a lot. All right, so I'm done crapping on Canon for a minute, but we did talk about this for a second. We did get. I mean, I don't know how long we've been going, bro. We've been going for a minute.
See, look. That's my man, Jay Johnson.
What did he say?
He said, "Why are y'all dropping thousands upon thousands of dollars on those cameras and not a V-mount battery?" You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, Jay Johnson. I bought a V-mount battery for my 120D for aperture, but I've never bought a V-mount battery for a camera. But I will say, because I haven't had a camera that like the
Battery life was terrible.
Canon battery was like terrible for, but I am potentially. I got a few. Well, I don't know. I guess I'm not saying brands, but I got a few V-mount batteries in my shopping cart.
Okay.
For a potential camera.
We shall see. All right, quick things. Let's rapid fire through these next ones because this has been a busy week of releases. So what do we have this week? We have the GoPro Hero 13. Cam Mackey's in the chat, so maybe he'll give us a little bit of insight on this. But we also got a B set of Blazars that just came out.
Ooh, yes.
By the way, if you guys haven't seen Cam's video on that, definitely go check that out. We mentioned it earlier. DJI Neo came out.
Oh, the super chat.
Oh, yeah, the super chat on the Neo. And then the Sigma 28 to 105. So this has been a redonkulous week.
Yes.
Of just, I mean, I guess everybody's getting ready for the holiday seasons. But yeah, we're getting non-stop.
So I'll say this, DJI, don't hate me. In the super chat, it basically said it looked like a little Android camera, and the image quality doesn't look great.
Yeah.
But the no controller, it seems like it could be an incredible BTS camera.
So that's when I first saw it. Have you seen the ads lately for those like foldable drones that like pop up? They're like called the Hover or something like that. But there's like this new drone. I keep getting ads for it. But like, I just don't look at the Neo as a filmmaker's drone.
No.
Like, it is the
Hobby.
everyday drone. It's $200. It's a perfect drone for you to learn how to fly because if you crash it, it was only $200 compared to like what you could have spent on drones in the past. Very hobbyist type drone. So I'm not looking for the best image quality out of it. But I mean, but I guess when you look at, hey, DJI, we know you've got good cameras back there. Just put one of those in this camera. I can see why people are like, let down by the quality. It's always hard for camera brands, I think in any industry or any level of camera, to like release really great stuff and then try to release something for the consumer because then everyone else, like their existing owners know the quality. And so they're trying to go get this new market. And then like all the existing owners are like, wait a minute, this is pretty trash.
Yeah, I will. People are so
call you out?
Yeah. Yeah. Core X is their batteries are on them. Anyways, back on topic. I will say, man, especially if you're in the YouTube game or you're even in the like marketing yourself, I think there could be some space for that to give you some unique BTS angles.
Yeah.
So I'm not here for it. Like I'm gonna buy it. I'm just talking. But if I was like, it might be a viable alternative to the Insta360 or the 360 cam that I was talking about, or an action cam.
Yeah, to be just like your
follow me around,
following BTS camera,
especially if it's not too loud and it doesn't have any sensors on it, so that concerns me a little bit. But honestly, DJI does this all the time. Their version 2 and 3 of the Neo will be
Amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
They are very odd with, I mean, we said this. They are super odd with first gen, but Scapo is still not, he's still not excited. He came back with a super chat. He says Hover Air X1, but he says acceptable image quality at least. I think the Hover Air is the one that I was talking about, but he goes, yeah, that this thing should have acceptable image quality. I guess the shots that I saw from it, maybe I saw it on my phone, so like.
Yeah, no, I watched Potato Jet's video and it wasn't that good. Hey, Rob is manifesting my future.
Yeah, he says I'm gonna throw a Hail Mary and guess that Jarrell's gonna buy an Alexa 35.
Rob, one day I want to be like you. Bro,
Wild.
I will tell you. Oh my gosh. I mean, genuinely, who knows? Maybe I might win the lotto. But outside of winning the lotto, there is a... Rob, you know this. I got 6 kids, bro. I got 6 college tuitions, 6 weddings. Bro.
Oh, I forget about that. You ain't buying no Komodo X. We just talking.
6 cars. 6 additional cars. My oldest is going to be driving next year. It's crazy.
Dude, we just talking.
Just talking.
All right, let's go through some more of these. IBC is the NAB in Europe, so lots of new gear will be announced now. Oh, that's why. Okay, so we're getting all these new announcements because of IBC.
Gotcha.
Okay, thank you for that update. Let's see. It definitely seems more like a beginner first-person drone. Practice flying with it. Yeah, that's kind of where my mindset was. Yeah, the quality. Those people aren't gonna notice the quality. All right, let's see. Let's run through these. Let's see. Calling anyone who isn't a camera nerd like us. What is that? I missed that.
He's responding to Evan's comment, so we need context. What did Evan say?
What did Evan say? Let's see if we can find Evan.
Oh, civilians.
For what? Evan, I need more context. You can't just be...
Is he talking about the Neo?
Oh, because
He's probably talking about the Neo.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know.
I got you.
We're just going to say that that's what it's about.
Yeah, and then Cam is saying the cameraman. Okay, well, I'm trying to keep up with y'all. Y'all be going nuts in the chat. It's almost impossible.
This man said, I've been hearing some rumors, might be able to afford an Ari in a few years. Yeah, I think I could buy one of their huge Aris. Like one of the old ones. Mm-hmm. I've seen those on sale for
like $6,000.
Yeah, $6,000. That's the only way I'm owning an Ari.
Well, if you watch some certain creators, they will tell you that the GH7 is actually an Ari, so you could afford that right now. What you laughing for? Is that not what they said?
Yeah.
Is that not what I heard? Am I wrong?
This man is misquoting, bro.
What?
This is just like an Ari.
Is that not what they said? They said the GH7 was an Ari. What? Okay, maybe I misheard them.
So this might be good. Hey, you own some Blazars?
Yes.
You love them?
I do.
The B set, are they interesting to you?
They're frustrating. Because I just got my set. I waited
Would you have gotten the B set?
I would have just bought the B set.
You know what's super crazy? Cam said this. This is an addition to.
Yeah. Does it feel like
it doesn't feel like an addition to?
I'm not.
I gotta be honest. Just me personally.
Those
are the focal lengths I would have wanted.
Look, you know what I feel like? I feel like everybody who bought a Komodo X like about 3 months ago. That's exactly what I feel like right now.
But to be fair, your Blazars are still incredible.
I still like my Blazars for what they are,
yes.
But I definitely would have probably bought the B set. Thanks for the heads up, Cam.
Brandon, you need to do more talking and less buying.
That's what I need to do. Oh, man. Oh, someone said Panasonic left the chat. Dude, I do this every time. Sorry, Panasonic.
He be hating on that Lumix gang.
I'm not hating on Lumix gang. I'm just not a part of it. Someone said, get that micro four... Oh, Tio, get that micro 4/3 out of here. Oh, gosh. Oh, you know what? That's what we could afford from Ari. You can afford a shirt.
He says we. Rob.
He got that.
We know you rolling, Rob.
Bro, he got that LF.
Bro,
I've seen it. Shout with it.
This man said we. There ain't no we, Rob.
Rob, we are not in the same tax bracket, bro. Stop acting like you one of us. You looking down on us. We can see you up there.
With
yeah.
all due respect, I'm trying to level up, but
Yeah.
I'm not there.
Someone said, yeah, I'm pissed. I had my Ream Assist since April, and now I'm feeling like I got bamboozled. Look, I'm just going to relate to you, okay? Like, I relate. I mean, it is, the B stock is, I mean, that's the nice thing about, at least, like, with the Blazars, they're not, like, super expensive, but yeah, I don't know if I'm buying the B set.
So question, though.
Yeah.
Because this is what I don't know. Maybe Cam, maybe you know, because you own the Blazars too. Are focal lengths different with anamorphics? I know what a 35 is.
Yeah.
I know what a 50 is. I know what an 85 is. Is with the lens being an anamorphic, is it when they say, oh, it's a 50, are they really saying it's a 50? Like, obviously it's a 50 because that's what it's called, but like, does the focal length change with it being an anamorphic? Like how wide something is. So is a 35 lens, a 35 RF lens, the same width as a 35 anamorphic lens?
So you got to think about, this is the way it was explained to me. Now, I'm not an anamorphic wizard. Cam will definitely be able to speak to this, but this is the way that it makes sense to me. So when you look at an anamorphic lens, right? Let's take a 50 spherical lens. You know what that looks like, right? So if you're on a 50 1.5, you're getting the exact same depth and compression as a spherical 50 millimeter. But that 1.5 is the additional stretch you get on the side. Does that make sense? So you're getting 1.5 times the normal 50 range. You're getting that to the sides.
So it's significantly wider.
Significantly wide. So that's the difference when you get like a 2 times anamorphic. It's super skinny.
Gotcha.
But if it's like a 50 2 times anamorphic, you're still getting the same compression as like a normal 50, but you're getting 2 times the width on that. And then 1.5 or 1.3 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. So when you're looking at a 45 versus a 50, the difference in like the face, not really too crazy. But like you're still gonna get a little bit more width on the side.
So is that the reason why they don't? And I'm saying this out of an assumption. Is that the reason why you don't necessarily see like a 24 millimeter anamorphic or a 16 because it's already insanely wide?
I mean, I've seen 11. I think.
So they do make lower.
They do
ones.
make ultra wide anamorphic lenses. They what is it? Who is it? Atlas. I think it's Atlas or Atlas Orion. I think they have like a super wide anamorphic. Somebody let me know. But yeah, Scott says, pro tip, don't show up with a 10 millimeter 2 times anamorphic. Yeah, that's going to be stupid.
Filming the world.
You might actually see the edges of the lens on something like that. But no, yeah, so that's sort of the way that it made sense to me when somebody explained it. But Cam is definitely the one to pull it up. By the way, Cam, don't be texting me stuff and then saying I can't say it. I don't like it when you do that. Call me after the show. Cam said, moving forward, I'll be using the 33 millimeter, 50, 65, 85, and 125 the most. So the A set is definitely still important, but the new set is important. That you said nothing.
So he's mixing the two. Is that what you're basically saying? You're mixing
But that's
the
all,
A set and the
but
B
that's
set.
that's all the lenses. That the only one he's not using is
the 45.
100.
He's not using the 45.
Oh, okay. And the 100.
And
He's
the
taking the 100 out. Yeah, the 100 is of the set that I have, the 100 is definitely the softest.
Will they let you mix and match?
Well, you can buy them individually. You can go on B&H right now. You can buy each lens individually right now. The only benefit is that when you buy the whole set, you get the cool orange case, which I definitely wish it wasn't orange, but you know, it is what it is. It makes it really easy. It's in my closet. I'll never lose it. So maybe that's why they went orange with it. But yeah, let us know. Are y'all even interested in anamorphic? I'd really love to hear from y'all. Let us know.
Dude, Cam Mackey has made the world interested in anamorphics.
Dude, that is probably true. I think, yeah. Brandon,
and no disrespect to anybody that was shooting anamorphic a couple of years ago.
Well, I feel like
I
there
shot
was
some
like,
anamorphic back in 2016.
Waves. I feel like there was 2 waves
Yeah.
of anamorphic. Like we definitely had the Josh Yo wave of anamorphic, but the price was still like nanomorphs and who was the other one? Suray. And like even I reviewed the Surays and I just wasn't that impressed with them.
Did you ever put on the adapter
The
to make your
diopter?
lens? Yeah, into anamorphic.
No. Oh, that one. No,
Yeah,
from
the big
SLR
one.
Magic.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that one.
yeah.
No, I never did that one.
Back in 2016,
Okay.
I rented one.
Yeah, it's a. I think the fact that anamorphics, like the price is coming down, especially for a set, because that was the other thing. Surae would release anamorphic lenses, but they would never really release like a full like set.
Mm-hmm.
And so like you would get one focal length and another focal length, and then people would test them and they'd be like, yeah, they don't really match really well.
Yeah.
The nice thing about Blazars is like you get a full set and they do match. Now the A set, I don't think matches perfectly to the B set based off what I've seen from like Cam's video and a few others, but like that's just my opinion on them.
Yeah.
But at least you could get like I have all of my set that matches, because the one thing about anamorphic is I feel like you have to shoot the entire project anamorphic. Like once you
Yeah.
start anamorphic, everything's got to be anamorphic, right?
For sure.
But some people would buy one anamorphic lens and then like a spherical lens, and then they would just put black bars on it. I'm like, no, you just ruined everything for
Yeah.
me. Like I could see the lens jump.
Yeah.
So with getting sets at affordable price point, it's kind of like, I hate to keep doing a Jarrell, but it's kind of like the OG Komodo, where
Yes.
like it's an easy place to like step into the game. Blazar gave them an easy way for people to step into the anamorphic game, but in the right way, where they get a full set and they could actually shoot with multiple different focal lengths
For
and do an entire
$2,400,
project.
right?
For yeah, I think somewhere around
24.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, 24 with the case and all that.
That's
Dude,
insane.
That is insane.
That's insane.
But yeah, you absolutely can just buy each lens individually if you want to build out your own kit. You'll just have to get. Cam may know this, but I don't know if they sell the case by itself, so we'll have to see. All right, let's see. So we had the Blazars announced, we had the Neos announced. GoPro tried to be, cinematic and add a bunch of crazy stuff. Like GoPro put an anamorphic filter on there, which I'm gonna be honest, that anamorphic filter looks terrible.
I'm gonna be honest. Gosh, I don't know what they can do. Maybe they need to stop the numbers.
It just
And I know that there's so many legacy products. And here's the problem. I can probably say this because I'm not a GoPro user.
yeah.
So I'm not trying to protect all the legacy products, cases, mounts, and stuff like that. But honestly, GoPro, I think it's time to do something different. Still create an action cam, but
They tried
it
that.
feels like, don't do drones. Don't do something that can fall out of the sky. It's time to do something different. And I'm not saying this as a disparaging comment, but honestly, your cameras have looked good for so long that it's beginning to feel like the iPhone, in the sense that like you're coming out with a new camera. I don't know that, like, I see you put out some new lenses. That's cool.
I guess.
I don't know. I think it's time to do something different. Not still make cameras, still make action cameras, maybe a new design, maybe a new something. But stop the 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Stop that. Do something different.
Want a GoPro 23, bro?
Do something different.
Now, Donovan says, I'm waiting for the Blazar Kato 2X lenses before I jump on a B set for Remus. Yeah, well, and that's the other deal. For me, I'm like, they did come out with the Remus, but that's the same idea for me, where I'm like, I want all my lenses to be like either 1.5 or 2X or whatever. I went with 1.5. That's for me.
Dude, Cam Mackey got that stock. He got ownership in Blazar.
What did he say?
He said, make those cases green.
Hey, they at this point, if anybody could ask a camera brand to like make their own version, like I'm pretty sure Cam could probably get a green case with his little Roadrunner logo on it, and they could sell it for probably like $300 more, and people would probably buy
Cam
it.
Mackey version.
At this point, if they made a B set and that came in OD green with his Roadrunner on it, I'd buy a B set.
Mm-hmm. You heard it. You heard it, Blazar.
So Cam, tell him to make it.
Scott, it's beginning to sound like Twitter. GoPro still has 800 employees. What are they doing?
Losing money. Sorry, was that a question?
I
or-
don't.
oh.
I don't know. It's no hate. I want an American company to succeed. I think they got to break the cycle. Like, your cameras are already good. You got to do something different.
Well, I think it's twofold. I think, I think this says black pixels. But he basically said, like, I work in the Bay Area with a friend that works at GoPro. They're a sinking ship. Action cameras have been replaced by smartphones. I think it's twofold. I think it's you could use your phone for most quick things.
Yeah.
Right? Anybody who does something like water skiing or dirt biking or whatever all the stuff they put in their marketing material, those people probably already have a GoPro. And if they don't need the 13, they got 12 other options to choose from. You know what I mean? So, like, there's so many different models already out there. And then you've got a company like DJI who, like, they just started making action cameras just because they can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then there's also this question of, do I go with an action camera or do I go with a 360 camera? So you just had 2 huge slashes into your business.
Yeah. And
GoPro tried 360, failed miserably. GoPro tried to make drones, that failed even worse. So, like, when you say GoPro's got to do something different, I don't know if GoPro should do anything different because I think they're like, they already got 2 strikes.
Well, here's the deal. Slow death. Do you want to go bankrupt in the next 2 years, 3 years, and I don't know your finances, so you might be fine. But, like, do you want to do the slow death or do you want to go out fighting?
Well, see, here's my thing. GoPro products maybe aren't the best things ever right now, but their brand, like, they're Kleenex. You know what I mean? Like, when people are like, oh, hey, give me a Kleenex.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's what people think of when they think of an action game. Oh,
Yeah.
Is that a GoPro?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a GoPro shot. They see an action sport with a wide bulbousy lens. They're like, oh, that's a GoPro shot.
Yeah.
Like, they still have that name, so they need something. I don't know what it is yet.
I don't think that it's a don't do action cameras. I'm just saying, can you make something? Can you make a different form factor? Can you like? I don't even know enough on it to be able to say, like, oh, you're not doing this or you're not doing that. But, like, overheating, like, is there something you can do to set yourself apart? Is it even a price point?
Yeah.
Like, should you be running at $150? You know what I mean? In the sense that, like, you really make people think, oh, I'll buy that for $150. Like, so I don't know.
Well, Scapo says that GoPro told me on Insta that a new 360 camera is on the way soon. So maybe they're going to give it one more crack.
Dude, their first one was crazy.
It's you just got to figure out the workflow. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Figure out the first person, and I think Insta360 is probably the closest. But, like, if you could just, like, make that workflow, like, literally drag, drop, and I'm sure it's like a plug-in thing. Work directly
with Premiere, with Adobe.
But, like, I don't want to have to go to your website, download the plug-in, and bring it in. Like, just make it a part of it where it just reads it as a file.
SD card directly into the camera,
Right.
into the computer.
Drag, drop file into my project.
Yes.
The plug-in is already there. I don't need to go look to update it or convert it. Because that was the problem with the original GoPro. Was like, you had to go through the GoPro app and stitch it, and then you had to then move that in, and then you're... Yeah.
And it needs to be processor not intensive.
Yeah.
Like, bro, figure it out.
Yeah, I like that. I don't even care about image quality all that much when it comes to like 360 cameras. I almost said Insta360.
Yeah.
When it comes to 360 cameras, because I need workflow more than anything else.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely see. Brandon says, well, they just dropped the Hero for $199 for $199. So, I mean, I guess
Still too expensive, Brandon.
This man could not be happy.
No, I'm just saying $200 ain't moving me to buy.
Well, we got a lot of big news that came out this week. The last thing we want to talk to you guys about, and we just want to put this out there on the radar, for all of you guys who rock with us, who really, really rock with us, some of y'all probably saw that RED is going to be having the Creator Awards, and we're going to throw our hat in the ring. So we're just priming you. There's no way for you to vote yet, but there is a video podcast version. So if you guys enjoy this show, do us a favor. One, if you haven't subscribed to the Uncensored channel, that's where the replay of this is going to be. So make sure you're subscribed over at the Uncensored YouTube channel. Subscribe there. Also, hit that like button. Let us know you love the channel. Let the algorithm know that you love this podcast. And in a few weeks, when RED unlocks the voting, do us a huge favor. We would love it if you voted for us. We love doing this video podcast, so we're going to try to see if we can't get nominated in the RED Creator Award thing. I got to do more research on it, but we're definitely going to get signed up. So we're just priming just priming you guys and letting you know we're
Yes.
going to be doing that because we're super, super excited about. We love what the community of this show is, and we love rocking with you guys, and so we would love to share that with more people. But dude, crazy week.
Yes. I know sometimes I yell at y'all. I'm not yelling at y'all. Okay, I'm not yelling at y'all.
He's yelling.
I'm yelling at the industry.
Yeah, he's yelling
Industry.
at the industry that doesn't watch.
We appreciate y'all so much.
Thank you guys so much for checking out this week's episode of Uncensored. And Jarrell, any last words?
Peace.
Oh God, I can't find the button. Where's the button? Peace.